Hi everyone, welcome to Dadi SOS, Study on Spotlight. I'm Royce, and next to me we have...
Hello, I'm Rachel.
And today we have a very special guest here, someone from the UK. Would you please introduce yourself? Just let the viewers know who you are and which school you represent, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Richie from Nottingham, Trent University in the UK, and I support students from across Southeast Asia.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming all the way
Thank you.
here. And today we'd like to just talk a bit about, life in the UK, especially for students maybe,
Sure.
or in general. You can just share a bit of the UK life, maybe even Nottingham life in particularly. And yeah, that'll be just for this session, get to know a bit more about UK and Nottingham. So maybe just very quickly, in case anyone that's not too familiar with, NTU, would you just very quickly maybe tell us a bit about NTU, just a very brief maybe history or information to share first?
Yeah, so Nottingham Trent University is, we're based in the UK, right in the middle of England. So we're in, I would say, a medium-sized city. It's a very vibrant city. There are 2 universities, so there's over 80,000 students. So student life is great. There's a lot of people to connect with, lots of new people to meet, lots of new activities to try. And the UK in general is very, very diverse. So, there's a lot of students that you can meet from around the world. Nottingham Trent University, we offer a range of different courses, everything from business to esports production to fashion design through to law. There really is something for pretty much all interests. So we offer, a really diverse range of courses and a very supportive environment for students.
That's good. Actually, interesting fact, my first time to the UK was to Nottingham to visit NTU.
Really?
Yes. So
when was this?
2017 when I first entered this industry.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be invited by NTU to join a fam trip.
Amazing.
And that was my first time
Yeah.
ever to the UK.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever set foot in there, according to my memory.
So you don't need me to tell you then about
But that was
about Nottingham Trent
2017.
University.
What? That's like 7 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot has changed.
It probably has, yes. Over the last 7 years, lots of things will have changed. Obviously, NTU is always innovating.
Yeah.
We're always investing into our facilities and to campuses that students are using day in, day out. So you would definitely notice a lot of changes in those 7 years since you were last there.
Yeah. Again, I've never been back since, so I'm sure a lot have changed.
Well,
and
you are more
bit
than
better.
welcome at any time to come back and,
All right.
and
We
join
have
us.
just me, or does Rachel
Count
is
me
invited?
A group of you. We more than welcome you. We're a very
Fantastic.
welcoming city and a very welcoming university, so
Right.
we'd
Right.
love to show you around.
Can we extend that to everyone in the room here that could
We
hear this?
can,
We can.
yeah. Maybe the whole building.
Maybe the whole building?
Yeah, we
Oh,
could do.
well, thank you. Thank you for inviting. I will hold on to you for that.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure when we go next time, we'll look for you. You better be there.
You'll find
and
me.
You'll take
You'll
us
find
around.
me. Well, you've very kindly given me a coffee today, so
Ah.
it would only be fair of me to repay the
Oh,
favour.
wow.
so-
A coffee for a trip to the
Coffee,
UK.
tea.
What a deal. So I want to share a bit of my first time, because I was overly unprepared.
Okay.
Because I've never been to the UK.
And was that in terms of like weather or lots of different aspects?
Weather was one of them, but even just going from the airport to Nottingham, to the town itself, is a bit of an up and down.
Yeah.
Maybe along the way you can maybe tell the viewers what's the correct way to do it,
Yeah.
and not the way that I did, okay? So when I arrived,
Yeah.
it was in Heathrow Airport,
Okay.
and then I arrived at 4 a.m. So what I didn't realize was transport isn't 24-hour, which I assume a lot of Asian countries might be, or maybe till late, but it wasn't. And to my surprise, I was just waiting for things to open, just sitting in a cold seat, because
Yeah.
it was during late November-ish, so it was quite chilly, and it wasn't the most ideal time to do it.
So
but
you were cold.
I was cold. I was cold and very unprepared. And yeah, I took the airport and then went to London. I believe it was King's Cross Station.
Yeah.
Again, the train wasn't open yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just having a small breakfast, whatever was open back then, and
Yeah.
then waited for like another hour or two. I didn't even get a chance to go outside because it was so cold. And then I took another train to Nottingham, and then I walked all the way to the hotel. And that was, I think you would say that's probably not the most ideal way to do it.
It's not the smoothest entry I've
No.
heard of into when you first land in the UK.
So how would you do, or how would normally, or students normally would do it? Would you say then?
Yeah, so firstly, I would say do your research. So obviously look into the different airports that are nearby. So a lot of students want to travel into Heathrow because of it does have good connectivity across the UK.
What's the other airport again, sorry?
So there are a range of different airports, but the ones closest proximity to Nottingham are Manchester and Birmingham, and they're the ones that I will use when I come to Malaysia. And then I'll either transit through, Dubai or Doha or whatever airport you may want to transit through. I would say do your research. Look at what time your flight lands in the UK is really important.
That would have been good, yeah.
Yeah. In terms of National Express, I would recommend is a coach service that is, obviously, as the name suggests, it's national, so you can get services from any airport to cities around the UK. And they have different times in which you can travel. Some of them may be early, but obviously definitely very less frequent in those early hours of the morning. But at Nottingham Trent University, for example, if you're going to Heathrow, generally we will give the student a code in which they can book a service. So it's no charge to the student, and they can book their preferred service if they're a September starter. There are terms and conditions, and there are different dates by which the student needs to book, but it's open to all new students to the university. So we try and take that stress away from that aspect, but I would say research is the key thing. Look at when your flight lands and make sure you've researched all of the options available to you as a student.
Great.
Did you not do any research, may I check?
I think I was overly...
You just thought I'll arrive.
I just thought I'll just arrive and I'll make it work.
Yeah. That is a good point, though, because obviously when you land, let's say, in KL, I know that I can just go on and I can book a Grab or something like that, and I know that I'll get there. So yeah, that is a key point. Do your research. There are lots of good transport options, but I would say, have a look into when your flight lands and make sure that you're prepared to get to the university or to wherever you need to go from that point.
Right. Yeah, I should have done that, but I will do it next time.
It's a learning curve, isn't it? Next time
I definitely learn. I learned the hard way, and I'll remember it forever. I'll make sure it never happens
again. This is the thing, even though it probably was a negative experience, it's one that you won't forget.
It wasn't, because I realized I'm not the only one like that. There were other people that was also sitting, obviously a bit more prepared than me. They have a thicker coat.
Yeah, exactly.
They have gloves. They have layers. They look like they were prepared. They know what they were getting themselves into. I just wasn't. And I feel like it was still fine. I got a bit of chill time, I guess, beforehand. But it was a very quiet evening. Morning-ish. It wasn't daytime yet. So it was quite dark outside. So,
but I guess it's a lot to take in if you've just arrived and you're not prepared, and then this sort of scenario happens, and you're like,
it can get a bit overwhelming.
Like, what do I do? Is it like a bus, train, taxi? And I guess you're not really aware of costs and things as well. So.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I have a sort of fair bit amount because I have colleagues that went before to like certain areas. They told me to make sure they bring enough cash just in case. But nowadays it's all card income, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But when I arrived in Nottingham, my God, was it beautiful.
Good.
It's so. Just the style of the buildings, it's very traditional, very artsy. I think that's how I'll call it. It's very, I think, it's just visually very pleasing.
Yeah, there's a range of different architectural styles in the city as well. So you've got things like the historic castle, obviously.
Yeah.
You've got the shops and the high street and the market square. Obviously got that traditional style as well, and then you've got some very new and modern architecture as well, of which I would say NTU is part of changing the cityscape in a positive way. I love to see a city where it's got a variety of different sort of architecture. And I mean, on my way here, for example, I saw some very traditional and old buildings, but you've got the very new, modern sort of buildings as well. Yeah. And, Nottingham sort of has that mix of architectural style too.
Definitely.
And we've got a new design and digital arts building, which is very near completion and will be open for September students.
Okay.
And that's a very modern style, which really contrasts against some of our more traditional architecture. So next time you visit, as I have promised, this room and the whole
building
office block, the whole tower.
This is a tall building.
It is a very tall building, yeah.
we have quite a few floors there.
I'm sure all of those people will be able to see.
Fantastic.
The architectural style that you mentioned, and I'm really glad that you've.
It was. I think it was because it was my first time there. Yeah. I've never been to UK. That was my first impression of UK buildings and architectural sort of structure. And I was like, my God, this is.
Is it what you expected?
I I think it was definitely. I wasn't expecting how visually pleasing it was. I think I sort of kind of understand, like, when you think of UK, maybe everyone has sort of image in mind, like how the buildings are like and all of that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as I think maybe paired with like the decorative stuff, because it was near Christmas as well. I think a lot of decorative stuff was on there, and then the people were just very well dressed, all of that coding, and it was like a painting.
I mean, yeah, in the UK we do love the winter and everything gets dressed up and decorated, very festive feeling. So yeah, I'm glad you got to see it at that time because it's a very very nice time to see it.
It was very good, yeah. So I'm sure when students or whoever's traveling, they can. I think they're in for a surprise if they're really not have no idea, no expectation.
Yeah,
they'll be like. Yeah.
And I think I always encourage students that come to the UK, don't just go to one place and never leave that place. Go and travel to different places. Go and see different cities, because each city has its own vibe. You've got really small towns and quaint villages. You've got coastal resorts in the UK. There's so much to see and do, and they've all got their own charm and their own uniqueness and their own beauty. So I guess seeing Nottingham, you've just seen one aspect of that.
Just the one.
That
yeah.
sort of. And a bit of London, I guess, in the train station.
When you arrived. Basically, yeah. I didn't really get to go out, so that's about it. I went to the Harry Potter store. That was.
I mean, that's an essential.
That is definitely.
That is an essential.
They were all lining up for the
Top
photo,
tip,
which I
visit
didn't.
the Harry
because
Potter store.
I think it's a classic. Let's talk a bit more about more casual, I guess.
Yeah.
Bit more, I guess, very important topics that I'm sure a lot of people like to know about. The food, the culture of food. Make sure you have any questions that you might want to ask about food or.
Any like British dishes you would like to recommend to us?
I have answers, but can I throw it straight back to you? And I want to ask you what the stereotypical British food is.
Oh, I guess it's fish and chips.
Yes. I mean, I have to say, when someone asks you what your favourite meal is, I've got different options. It depends what mood I'm in, but fish and chips is definitely
You always go
on
back
the
to
list.
fish and chips?
It's always on the list. You can't beat good fish and chips.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so fish and chips. So that's definitely a stereotype, but it's a very accurate one as well.
Okay.
So I would also say like the Sunday roast.
Okay.
So on a Sunday, like maybe in the modern day, people are a bit more like flexible and not so traditional, but generally it's a time when you would sit down with family and have a Sunday roast.
I think for those who are not sure, what do you roast exactly? What is the?
Yeah, so a roast consists of vegetables like Brussels sprouts, carrots, peas. You have something called a Yorkshire pudding.
Okay.
And that is basically the same similar ingredients to what you would use for a pancake, but the shape is in like a little, looks like a little bowl, and you can fill it with gravy. Alongside that, you would maybe have stuffing, which is, I don't even know how to describe it, so I'm not going to try. I would just say Google stuffing Sunday roast, and you'll find it. And then you may have a meat, or if you don't eat meat or are vegetarian, then you can have a different option, maybe like a nut roast. But yeah, it's basically a very hearty meal, very warming. We eat it throughout the year, but I would say it's definitely something that warms you up in winter.
Okay.
And you have it with gravy, which is, it's really nice. So if you've not tried it, please, I would recommend that you do.
Okay. So is it a seasonal dishes or like normally you can prepare at home?
You have it every Sunday, whether it's
Or just Sunday?
30 degrees. You could have it every day if you wanted to, but it's traditionally on a Sunday. And it's like a Sunday lunch, so usually you would have it around between 12 in the afternoon to 2 p.m. So it's an early afternoon, but it's like a big dinner. So you wouldn't have like a large dinner at night as well. You would maybe have just snacks and things like that. But yeah, it's definitely one to try, and it's a tradition on a Sunday. The other thing I want to say is afternoon tea. I think maybe the UK is quite well known for afternoon tea, which is like sandwiches, followed by maybe some small pastries or cakes, and then served with a cup of tea or a pot of tea, because in the UK we like to have not just one, we like to have multiple, 4 or 5 cups of tea with our afternoon tea. And really that's like a social sort of, you would go out for afternoon tea as a special occasion, maybe a birthday or a celebration. And that's very traditional, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you've done any research onto this in the past, but I believe it was something that came from royalty in the past, maybe in the 1800s. And what they would do is it would be a chance for like the ladies of the house to get together with friends and
like a
kind of
high
like
tea.
a
like a
kind
high
of
tea
a high
party.
tea, but also I think they used it for like gossiping and
Yes.
talking about society.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it does today too, no?
It does, yeah.
Kind of resistance to this day and age.
But not just confined to kind of royalty or the upper class. It's open to everyone and every gender. You know, it's for everybody. You know, anybody can take part in afternoon tea, and it's a really nice sort of thing to do on one of your afternoons.
Well, there we go.
Sounds like British enjoy tea a lot. So there's a tea called English breakfast tea. Is it?
Was it from you guys?
Is. Yeah. So although we call it English breakfast tea, I think it's the tea that a lot of people drink any time of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether it's
No matter what
midday.
time.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
drink it.
Yeah, I can prove.
Whenever we go on a trip, if I can get tea, I'll get English breakfast.
Yes.
It's just, it feels so nice.
Well,
with
I
whatever-
want to know, how do you drink it? Is it with milk, sugar?
Just tea.
Just on its
just
own?
on
The plain
its own.
one.
Yeah, I'm just plain. Yeah, it's. I
feel
know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I just want the
mean,
tea extra. I don't want to.
yeah. I think a lot of people in the UK will have it with milk.
Milk.
Traditionally, you know, like a sort of standard milk, but
Mhm.
increasingly people might have oat milk or an alternative.
Oh.
But yeah, generally with milk and sometimes with 1, maybe 2 spoons of sugar. It depends. But yes, definitely I would say a lot of people have milk in their tea.
Really? I
Yes.
thought like British likes beer a lot because I heard
Yeah.
like the beer is more cheaper than water
For
in England.
tea?
No, just I think the
Beverage.
Yeah.
Beverage.
I
yeah.
think the
Yeah.
saying is just beer is cheaper than because how much you go through.
Yeah, you have a lot of tea.
yeah.
And increasingly.
Yeah.
a lot
Do you think
of
that's
coffee
correct
as
though?
well.
Do you guys drink? Do you guys, I guess, have a drink whenever? Is that a very common thing to do in the UK or?
For tea?
I know for alcohol, beer.
For alcohol, it depends. Yeah, I suppose in the past, a lot of people like to have a drink of beer or a wine or a cocktail.
Because there are a lot of pubs around. I'm
There
sure.
are a lot of pubs. I mean, the UK is well known for the pubs, and pubs really are the heart of local communities, where people get together and play games or do a quiz. So you should definitely visit a British pub when you're there.
You want the actual, very genuine sort of experience. Then you should go and have a try.
And a lot of pubs serve food as well, so they're a really nice place to go for a meal. You could try some of those sort of English dishes, a Sunday roast definitely on a Sunday, sausage and mashed potato, for example, pies or stews. So you can. It's not just about drinking; it's about eating as well. So you can regularly go and have a nice beer or a wine alongside a really good meal.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Are you interested now?
Yeah. There's another like curious question. Why British always like drink tap water instead of bottled water? Is it safe to drink?
It is safe to drink.
Really?
Yeah. So I wouldn't really ever buy bottled water unless I was, I don't know, I'd forgotten my own
My own bottle.
refillable bottle, and I nip into the shop to get a bottled water. But yeah, most people just drink tap water. It's very safe. It's all filtered and everything. So yeah, it's completely fine and safe to drink tap water, which I know is quite the shock for people sometimes coming from overseas, and they're like,
Yeah.
You can drink it?
Yeah.
It's perfectly safe and healthy.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, and healthy.
Healthy.
Yeah, I mean water
And healthy.
Water's always healthy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Drink more water, guys.
So if let's say it's a case study a situation, if you are being thirsty in a restaurant, like what would you order? How would you order?
How would you order food in a restaurant?
You thirsty, not hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you asking how to order? Just drink?
I think
what?
a bit of a role play. Let's say that you're in a
Yeah.
restaurant. What do you want to
Yeah.
drink? Just any beverage or
Water.
just if you want water? Definitely not a bait.
Yeah.
How would you get a waiter to give you that kind of beverage?
Okay. So you mean how do you call the waiter over?
Yeah.
Yes, and order your drink.
And order your drink apparently.
Yeah. So I mean, the UK, I think we almost feel awkward sometimes about putting a hand up and saying like, come over. So, I
Okay.
feel like when I travel overseas, a lot of people are just like, they'll just call the waiter and like
Kinda
click
standard,
or
yeah.
like wave them over. In the UK, I think we'll just sit and wait and be like, when are they coming over yet? Like try and catch their attention, maybe sit a bit taller. But then eventually you might just say, wave your hand, and then you just say, can I order a drink, please? And I believe, again, this is another thing that I need to double check, but I believe they are legally obliged to provide tap water for free.
Oh.
I believe. So you don't have to pay for
It's on the house.
bottled water or something like that. But I do think it would probably be maybe a little bit frowned upon if you went into a restaurant, ask for some tap water, and then just go and don't order any food or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's how you would do it. But in the UK, I think we're quite well known for maybe being a bit more reserved in calling a waiter or, complaining or something like that. So yeah, we're probably a bit more shy, let's say, in that respect.
Does that persist when you go overseas? Because I'm sure you travel a lot. Are you also afraid to call when even you're like in Malaysia and whatnot, or do you just wait for them to come over?
I wait, but obviously, I think anyway the service in the UK, but also here it is very good. So you wouldn't really need to feel that awkwardness generally about calling someone over. But I think I just look at people around me and I look at the locals and I think, well, if the locals do it, then I don't think it's rude to maybe put my hand up and ask. And I think for an international student going over to the UK, just follow what the locals do and you'll be fine.
So just do this, right?
Kind of make yourself, your presence more known.
Make sure I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Or cough a bit,
or start to look
just
fed up.
Seek some attention.
Yawn or...
But do you know how local Malaysian ask waiter for order?
No, I don't. What do you do? I think I've seen a few examples, but can you just confirm for me?
Yeah, please. I want to see too.
Raise your hand.
Really?
Bang. Sama order.
What, you make that noise? Like the kiss noise?
Yeah, because I want to seek his attention. I was just...
Really?
Yeah.
Very ear piercing sort of sound.
Yeah, everyone do this. Yeah, so it's common. So it's
Everyone?
safe. Yeah.
Okay, so I just feel like I can't even make that noise.
Would you give it a try?
Can you try?
There we go.
Yeah.
That works.
Like that?
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound loud enough.
So
I need to do it really loud if they're at a distance.
Maybe you raise your hand. Yes,
this?
yes.
There we go.
You did it perfectly.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll try this.
yeah,
I'll try
order,
this.
yeah, like this.
Yeah?
Then he will
And
come
that's
over.
not rude?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, that will be done by us,
Yeah.
local.
I think as well, another thing, just touching on this, it's just jogged my memory, but I think the UK are well known for saying sorry for everything.
Right.
So I think I go sorry.
How very polite.
Sorry.
But
I'm
actually
really
you
sorry
did nothing
to
wrong.
disturb you. Yeah. Whereas here, I think you just say we want to order,
Yeah.
It'll be weird to say sorry if you
Yeah.
just for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
What have you done?
What did you do?
You haven't done anything yet. So. How preemptively saying sorry. So.
Yeah. Well, I must say I'll try that kiss
Yeah.
thing next time, that kiss sound, and I'll let you know how it goes. I still feel a little bit awkward about trying.
Might get
this,
treated a
to be
bit.
honest.
Might be treated like a local. Maybe more like a.
Maybe, yeah.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, he knows. He
Yeah.
knows. He knows the social code for ordering.
I still feel like this is some sort of trick.
You
And
think
you've
so?
got you'll follow me with some sort of camera to a restaurant, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, look what he's just done! He's done something that we told him to, and it's completely untrue." You
Nah.
promise that this is what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's true. I didn't
Yeah.
lie. I
Okay,
didn't
good.
pretend.
I trust you. I
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
By the way,
Next time.
I've never done it here, so I don't know.
But besides of ordering food,
Yeah.
how would you say you want to bill?
Asking for the bill.
Yeah.
you. More of the same.
And just raise
Just
hand, eye
Sit
contact.
awkwardly, eye contact, look, outstretch yourself, stretch. Look like you're ready to leave.
So the
Look
waiter,
at your watch.
the waiter is very attentive to make sure that he catches every little thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
table has stopped talking, stopped eating,
Yeah.
sitting very straight, eye up, and
I mean,
must-
obviously, you've got more confident people, a different spectrum of people, but eventually, you probably just try and wave or something like this, and then go, "Sorry, can I have the bill, please?"
Sorry again, of course.
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
again.
Yeah, if the waiter or waitress isn't so attentive, then eventually you probably just say, "Sorry, I know you're really busy. Please can I have the bill?" Something like that.
Oh, I guess the waiter and waitress in British have to be very alert. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Yeah.
in Malaysia, we actually don't need to speak so much. We just raise our hand,
Yeah.
turn
okay,
around,
so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just bill all the foods and
round
drinks.
it up, please. Round it
Yeah.
up.
Oh, this.
Yes.
You do this with your hand?
So you point at the table and then you just do this. Like,
I thought you meant you stand up and turn around and serve.
I think that works too, actually. I think
Okay,
you can give that a try.
I'll try that one and I'll let you know how I
Yes.
get on. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get the attention
Yeah.
for sure.
So do you feel like about waiters and waitresses and service in restaurants, are they, I feel like they're attentive, but do you feel that they're attentive here, or do they just wait for your call?
I think there's just so many people, like, obviously, especially this area here.
Like
there's a lot of
busy.
people are very busy.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to somehow get the attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not that they don't want to be attentive. They just have not enough people, maybe.
Yeah, just busy.
Yeah, too many
maybe.
people going on. You have to, especially when you want to go.
Yeah.
I'm done with my meal.
Yeah.
I need to, like, please just
Yeah.
Please.
get me out of here.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah. I'm sure they want that too. They have people waiting in line.
Yeah.
So that's probably what you have to do. Yeah.
I guess it makes it easier, doesn't it, when if they know they expect the
We
customer
take the
to
initiative.
take the initiative to
Yeah.
say what they need next.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But do you think if they use that way in the UK, would it be not frowned upon? Would it be kind of weird to the locals? How would they best tackle if they're like first time there?
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be weird. I
Yeah.
think it's just different culture, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
completely different,
Mhm.
like way of doing things. I think where maybe in the UK we can be too apologetic sometimes about things as well. So yeah, I think maybe we can learn a little bit from what you do. I'm going to start doing this at the table in the UK, see what they do.
That'd
I'm
be so
curious.
they'd
They
be
might
so
think I want
confused.
that.
Yeah.
They probably
They'd be
would.
like, what do you want? Do you want to spin the whole thing around? Or just all right. I guess a bit more on, I guess, the etiquette side of things.
Mm.
So last time I was there, I was taught a particular hand sign that you can't do in the UK. So this is the peace sign. But if you flip that
Oh,
around,
yeah.
it becomes something else.
Yeah, I
Is
wouldn't do that.
That is true. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is okay.
This is okay.
Yeah.
But if you flipped it, it means something different. I
Yeah,
think,
I don't think I can. I don't think I can repeat it.
You don't think I can
to
repeat
be
it,
honest,
right?
but it's an expletive. So if you just,
Right.
I don't know, if you think of your sort of a really bad insult or something,
That's what you
like
do.
a spoken insult,
Right.
The reverse of it
Yes.
refers to a spoken insult,
I see, I
basically.
see, I see.
So yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. So when you're doing your peace sign for pictures, make sure it's just
It's like
right.
this.
Be mindful. Be mindful, guys. This is the sign.
Yes.
Anything other than that would be.
Yeah. So yeah, just make sure that you're saying the right thing. And obviously, I know each country has their own
They're
sort of
different. Yeah.
expletives, and sometimes you just might not know that you've done
Yeah.
something to offend. But that is one not to do.
Yeah, because I'm not sure you can find something like that on the internet.
Yeah,
maybe something
that's very
explained to
true.
you, right?
Yeah.
It's very specific.
Very, very true. Yeah.
Because I did make that mistake.
Did you?
I think it was during it was like a group dinner sort of thing.
Yeah.
They were taking photos or something, and I did that.
Oh.
And a colleague of yours
Yeah.
told me like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, really?
That means something. I was like, oh, really? Should I take another photo again? I think it was during that time.
Yeah.
I was told, warned after I did it. So I
If
wasn't
you
sure.
knew someone really well, like a really good friend, and you're having a laugh with each other, it may be something that you would do as a joke to each other.
Yeah.
But if it could be taken in such a wrong way to someone that you don't know very well,
Right.
or in a professional situation, or a stranger, so yeah, you wouldn't really need to use that symbol. Yeah,
Nah,
So-
not casually.
Yeah.
For photo, maybe accidentally, but
Yeah.
otherwise you wouldn't be like,
exactly.
peace.
Yes.
And then I
Yeah.
head out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I never thought about that. So yeah.
Nah, I think, I mean, nowadays, students take photos. Take photos. So,
Yes.
something to be a bit mindful of, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
How's the... I mean, you're in a unique position. You travel a lot.
Mm.
But what's the general sort of working life like in the UK?
It
Is
really
it's like a 9 to 5 thing? Is it like a...
It's more 9
Casual.
to 5 because, and this is one of the things that I've noticed here, is that if I want to go to like the shopping centre and get something in the morning, it wouldn't be open pre 10 a.m. in a lot of places. Is that
Oh.
correct? In the malls?
Here or in the UK or
In Malaysia.
in Malaysia? Oh.
Oh.
When do they open?
So when I was in,
Around 10.
yeah, when I
10 to
was-
10. Yeah,
yeah.
normally.
I think 10 is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most will be open by then, I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean, the UK isn't open much earlier, but I would say shopping malls, like shopping centre, is open from 9.
Mhm.
But generally, shops will close at 5 or 6, unless you've got
Oh.
a very big shopping centre. Maybe that will close at maybe 8 p.m. But here, things go on into the evening until maybe 10 o'clock at
Yes,
night
yeah,
shopping.
it's normal.
So that's very different. But again, this can affect people's working days. So if you work in a shop or in retail, your working day will probably be pretty much 9 to 5, 9 to 6, unless you work in somewhere like a supermarket or a restaurant. A lot of supermarkets are open 24 hours a day. So you will have staff on shift at all times of day.
Yeah.
But in terms of general sort of office jobs, you're talking 9 to 5 is the general sort of
But
working
isn't it
pattern.
inconvenient then? By the time you finish work, that means most shops will close down. You can't really,
Yeah, I mean, for the essentials, you'll always find
groceries and all that.
groceries and food like open
Right.
24 hours or very late at least. But yeah, I really like that aspect about Malaysia in that when I've finished work, I can go and have a little wander around the shops for an hour, even if I'm not buying anything.
Yes.
Window
so I really
shopping is
like
great.
Window shopping, yeah. Especially with all the sort of luxury stores that you have in
Oh, yeah, of
Pavilion.
course.
Yeah, it's
It's very scented here.
there's a
so-
lot. Definitely window shopping.
Right. So most of the shopping, all of that will be on the weekend for you guys then.
Yeah.
And
Shops are open on Sunday, but on shorter hours again. So that would be like 10 till 4 usually, 10 a.m. Until about 4 p.m.
Oh, so since the shop like closed very early, so what kind of entertainment you would go for like after work?
I guess it depends where you want to go or what you want to do. It depends where you live. Obviously, if you're in a city, then you've got things like cinemas, bowling. Obviously, we've touched on the pub or
Pubs.
eating out as well. So I think eating out is a big thing, connecting with friends or family in that way. But yeah, there's so much to do, especially when the weather is good. You can go on nice walks in the evening. Obviously, it's very light until in the height of summer, 9, 10 o'clock at night. So you can go on really nice walks after work. So yeah, those are the sorts of things that I would say people can do. Or if you're a homebody, sort of someone that likes to stay in,
that's me.
go home in the winter.
Yeah. So what would you recommend me to do?
Maybe read a book,
Read a
especially in
book.
the winter. You can curl up, get warm, watch TV, watch Netflix. You know,
Yeah.
all of those sorts of things. So that that's sort of the winter
What
lifestyle.
do you
Yeah, that
do
sounds so
do
chill.
then?
What do I
Yeah.
do?
How do you after work? How do you de-stress, or how do you?
Yeah, go out for a walk
A walk?
usually. I mean, it depends if it's raining or not, but yeah, go for a walk, see friends, eating. I love eating out, trying different restaurants and food, sitting awkwardly waiting for my bill, all of those kinds of things. So yeah, that's the sort of thing that I would do. Or sometimes like go to a shopping centre that is open later, have a wander around, get some food, those sorts of things. I haven't been to the cinema in so long. That's just
Me
reminded
too,
me
actually,
that
yeah.
I haven't been and watched a film for ages.
On the plane, maybe.
Yeah, on the
That counts.
plane, but I haven't been in the cinema for so long. So yeah, cinema always good.
So other facilities like subway or any other common area is pet friendly also, because I saw a lot of like rails, they brought their pets like get into the subway.
Like onto the public transport and
Yeah.
things. Yeah, so you can take your dog.
Oh my God,
on
so
public
cute.
transport, on the train. So yeah, people are very crazy about dogs in the UK.
Yeah.
And I think
Is it
that's
just dogs?
Any other
Oh,
animals?
there's
How about
cats, but I feel
Ah.
like people don't really carry around
I'm a
their
dog person.
cat
Yeah.
as
I'm a dog
much.
person.
I pet a dog too.
Yeah. You see dogs a lot. Obviously, lots of people have cats, but they don't really take their cats
Oh, yeah,
to the
no.
restaurant
Yeah.
or something like that. But there's lots of pubs where you can take your dog, restaurants where you can take your dog. So yeah, you'll see lots of dogs in the UK. Lots of people have them as pets, and I think over the last, obviously, during COVID, lots of people wanted a dog at home as well. So there's
Yes.
it seems like everyone or many people have a dog these days, and dogs are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree,
Yeah, So
totally.
they just take them walking anywhere. Doesn't have to be a park. It could be just on the street. Wherever.
It could be on the street. You could take them to the
them to-
shops. Lots of shops allow dogs to go inside as long as they are well behaved and don't knock all of the items over.
Makes sense.
But yeah, dogs are welcome in a lot of places in the UK.
Oh.
And I can say we had a family pet when I was growing up. So early 2000s, we used to take our dog on holiday, and it was more rare that you could find somewhere to take the dog inside. You'd always have to go in and ask,
Yeah.
are dogs allowed in here? Is it dog friendly? And now I feel like it's almost expected that it should be dog
Right.
friendly. And if you go in somewhere that's not dog friendly, it's like,
That's
what is
the rare.
wrong? Why don't you like dogs?
Yeah, I like the culture. Oh my god.
So it is a really nice sort of dog culture if you're into pets and things.
That's a good news for any pet lovers, especially
Yes.
dog lovers. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's me.
Is Malaysia a pet loving nation, would you say? Or is it
Because of
50-50?
the
It's a bit of a because
religion
matters.
issue. Yeah.
Mm.
So dogs.
I'm sure there are dog lovers.
Yeah.
There is,
Yeah.
but might not be. You can't openly as maybe not like the UK.
Not
where
for
you can take
everyone.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's definitely a very different cultural sort of
Yeah.
kind of take on like taking a pet out and you know doing all of that.
Yeah.
Being a pet out.
I do
Just have
find
fun.
out of pretty much all the places I've visited in the world, the UK just does seem to be particularly like pet friendly. Is that the right word? Like we really love our pets, and I feel like it's just not the same in other countries. The UK is just particularly big on it, I think. And I think
That's
maybe
good.
it's because obviously we have some cold weather in the winter as well. It's nice to have a dog to, you know, watch
cuddle,
a film
yeah.
or what, you know, cozy up, watch a film, put the fire on, that sort of thing. So yeah, so it depends if you're working or if you're a student, but certainly if you're a student doing a bachelor's degree, you would have a very long summer. So you'd have a lot of time off in the summer. So I think students generally finish around May, late May time.
Ish, yeah.
And then they'll have June, July, August, and start back in usually early September. I know it depends on the university and the course that they've chosen.
But in general, it's about.
But you'd have a big summer break as a student. So it's a really great opportunity to visit all of these different places, try out the different pubs, see all the pets that we've talked about. But in terms of kind of working as a working person in the UK, not a student, you have a couple of weeks maybe in the winter. Winter is very important.
That's
So over
like
the Christmas
Christmas,
time.
right? Man, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it depends on what job and all of those things. But yeah, the Christmas winter break is very popular. So it's one where people really want to reconnect with family. Maybe they've got family in different cities. Families will usually gather together for Christmas dinner and Christmas Day. So yeah, that's a really important holiday. Schools in the UK are off generally for around 6 weeks in the summer. So a lot of people in work will take a couple of weeks off in the summer to spend time with their kids, maybe go on holiday. And obviously, if they're having a UK-based holiday, that is when the weather is going to be the best. So a lot of people will go to the beach or the seaside. So yeah, that's quite an important break. Obviously, that's not like an official holiday for people at work, so they will need to take their own holiday.
Right.
But then you've got things like Easter break, like bank holidays. So we have bank holidays in the UK, which is a day that's designated for a lot of workers to have off, and obviously schools and things are closed. But if you work in a shop or something like that, then shops are still open. So it's really hard to say, oh, this applies to everybody, because it doesn't. But those are the most important things. But there's a lot of celebrations like Halloween and things like that people
Right.
like to get involved in as well.
So going during that time will be very crowded, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, you get different activities depending on the time of year. So like at Halloween, a big thing that people do is pumpkin picking. So they go to like a pumpkin field and pick a pumpkin, and then they can maybe have a carving competition, decorate their house. Obviously during winter and into Christmas, people will like to go and buy gifts and things in the shops, go shopping, maybe go to like Winter Wonderland. So there's lots of different events going on.
Sounds so interesting. So
Yeah.
I've never been to like UK before. So I'm curious, like which season or month would you recommend for me to visit, like to experience what kind of festival do you think the most interesting?
Yeah. So can I ask you, do you like hot weather, cold weather,
I prefer autumn.
autumn?
Autumn, maybe
What-
not too cold or not too hot.
What is your preferred temperature?
20 something. 20,
20
yeah, 20 around.
Okay.
I don't want freezing cold one.
Okay, so I'm thinking.
Ooh, this is a hard question.
This is a hard question because I feel like the really like festive times, like
Are the colder one?
yeah,
Right.
you know, like Christmas.
Maybe
And
prefer cold one.
Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, they're quite the colder ones.
What if
But
we compromise? We've dropped around 3 degrees.
I mean, I'm trying
have more
to
choices then.
tie it in with like a special holiday, but I think maybe spring, summer,
Mm-hmm.
you get to see the UK and it's, all the plants are coming out, the flowers, you see a lot of greenery, the weather's quite mild, people are in a really, really good mood because the weather's nice.
Really?
And it's a great time to travel around in spring, summer, and I think in terms of temperature, it's probably perfect. I'm not saying there's a particular sort of festivity that you could be involved in, but there's so much to see and do in the summer, lots of travel that you could do. And if you're interested in music, then there's lots of like music festivals and things that happen in the UK. Really famous ones like Glastonbury, which is coming up in next week, actually, in the UK. So Glastonbury is a really famous festival. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it before.
Yeah, so you get like real sort of top iconic performers. You have to be prepared to get a bit muddy because it is a festival that's in a field.
Yes, outside, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you like camping and things like that, but it's a really, great opportunity to see what the UK festival culture is like, because a lot of people are very music focused and really like their music festivals, and there really is something for everyone, whether you're interested in like pop music or rock music, or Glastonbury, for example, has a mixture of all different genres. Maybe you could try a festival while you're there in spring or summertime.
Wow, let's go.
You want to go?
Yeah, so I invite
Definitely.
this office to come in the spring, summertime, then go to a festival.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, deal.
I would like to go too.
We'll get our tickets first, obviously, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely go.
And make sure you give a few days in advance so you're not stuck at the airport at 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, that's I'll make sure. That's a one-time thing. What do you think are the unique sort of selling points or maybe attractions that maybe students like to study in? I guess in Nottingham in general, maybe that can attract students to live, or maybe in NTU in general, the university itself. Like, what are you strong at? Those kind of things you can share.
Yeah, I'll start from a UK perspective, because obviously I know the world is becoming a smaller place. Like, we can travel around so much more easily, and students have so many options around the world, and you've got great options here in Malaysia too. But in terms of the UK, we have an amazing education offering across the country. Really great degrees, very varied degrees, whether a student wants something traditional or more unique or niche. I think the UK offers a lot of that. In terms of Nottingham Trent itself, as a university, we really pride ourselves on supporting our students throughout their process and their time with us. We want to see them happy, we want to see them succeed, and we want to see them go on to great jobs. So as part of our courses, we offer a lot of placement opportunities for internships and work experience, because we feel like obviously studying the course is the most important thing to the student, and they want to graduate, but we want to make them a well-rounded student that is ready for the world of work once they've finished their studies. So NTU really has a big focus on practical skills, and even if a student isn't doing a placement, they really get the opportunity to sort of do short-term internships, volunteering, work experience, and lots of practical projects on the majority of our courses. Right. I think in terms of students that are interested in creative subjects as well, NTU is really highly ranked in the QS rankings for art and design. So we have things from fashion design to animation through to graphic design, product design. There's literally a huge range of different creative options. And I think for those students that are interested in that sort of aspect and perspective, it's
Last
really,
time I went, the
really
design
key.
faculty, the fashion faculty have a lot of very specialized facilities for those students. It's
They
very
do.
impressive. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's even better now. It's been 7 years. I'm
Exactly,
sure.
and as I mentioned earlier, we've got the new Design and Digital Arts building as well. So if you have a look on our website, it will give you an overview of what the building looks like and some of the facilities that we've got in that building. But you walk around and we have degree design shows for students that are on creative courses, and the level of work and the variety of work as well. It's not like all of the students have got the same product.
No.
They've got some really unique and amazing ideas, and yeah, it's just great to see how far the students have come from year one to say year three if they've done a bachelor's, and see what they've achieved. But Nottingham as a city, very, very welcoming to international students. So a huge population of international students in Nottingham. Between the two universities, it means there's a big student population. So you'll always find something to do, whether it's meeting new people, trying new activities, sports. Nottingham is quite a sporting city. We've got 2 football teams. We've got cricket. We've got ice hockey stadium. There's really something for everyone. And within 15 to 20 minutes, when you get to the edge of like the city, sort of into the rural sort of areas, you've got some really, really beautiful walks as well towards the Peak District. And also Sherwood Forest. I mean, Robin Hood, you know, famous for Robin Hood. You've got to go and see all of the Robin Hood related things. Like, yeah, you can do some really nice walks if students are interested in seeing that sort of aspect.
It's definitely a lot to do. You'll never get bored.
You would never get bored. But yeah, it's depending on the campus that students are studying at as well. Nottingham is really easy reach for all campuses around the Nottingham area, and good transport links. So yeah, it's a really friendly and welcoming city and very vibrant and diverse, I would say.
That's amazing. We can't wait to go. I can't wait to go back, and I'm sure Rachel can't wait to go. Have a visit, and yeah, you know, hopefully there will be opportunity for us to visit you guys over there, and you can take us around, maybe how things have changed.
Yes,
I'm very excited for that. Well, thank you so much today. That's we've talked quite a bit already. We get to know a lot about, I guess UK in general, Nottingham, and also about the university. Thank you so much for sharing. A lot of this information that you know, maybe a lot of our students or their families, or even just viewers in general, can know about. But yeah, I think this is it. So thank you again for the sharing. Okay.
Thank you. I feel like I've also learnt a lot from you about particularly restaurants. So yeah, thank you.
Restaurant
guys.
culture.
Yes, our etiquette here is a very different thing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to know more about other topic, please leave your comment below. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Well, bye-bye.
How do you say bye-bye in UK?
Is
it goodbye, mate?
Is that mate? Is that cheers? Like, how do you say it?
A lot of people do say mate. I'm not a mate person.
You're not a mate person?
Oh.
No,
Okay,
so
okay.
I don't know, it just doesn't, I just can't say it.
It's not in your
Bye, mate.
vocabulary.
It just doesn't, no.
I
I
see.
just say bye or see ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
So I actually have a question, like because I realized you have a really nice like British accent. So do you have any tips to let me like pretend like a UK people?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How do I fool them into thinking I've been here for a while? Like, what was the
I want
mean,
to
you've already
act
fooled
like
me. You've fooled me already. I don't know, to be honest. It's so difficult to explain.
the accent? Like, how do you make it? Yeah.
Huh?
How do you
Like,
pronounce
when you pronounce water,
a
it's,
bottle of water?
It depends, like, because sometimes I might speak more properly, and sometimes I may speak less properly.
I
So
see.
if I was like at home, let me just think. I just need to take myself back to my.
Sure. go to your happy go to your happy place. Go get
I might
comfort.
get a glass of water. Water.
Water.
I'm probably more of a water person,
That's
but
it.
I think a lot of people will say water.
Water.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's almost like there's no tea.
This
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That one you have
You
to.
say Sunday also quite special. Sunday.
Is that
Sunday.
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 I thought you saying Sunday corn that Sunday.
Sunday. How do you say it?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Sunday.
different.
Or
Breakfast.
breakfast.
Is that one with
Breakfast.
Oh,
Is it?
How do you say it?
breakfast.
Yeah.
Is that slang for breakfast for you guys? Because in Australia it's brekkie, like all of that.
Brekkie?
Brekkie? You guys
Yeah.
brekkie too, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's. No, there's
No,
probably
they're
not
not
another
that.
slang.
Yeah, it's
brekkie.
definitely.
How about dinner?
Oh, can I
Yeah.
ask this question?
Yeah.
I heard it on internet.
Yeah.
I think it's a north and south sort of divide. Some people call it tea instead of dinner.
Yeah, so like
Really?
lunch, I will say dinner.
Yes,
What?
lunch
I
you say
don't
dinner.
know, like sometimes
Yeah.
I'll say dinner for lunch, but then
Yeah.
I'll also say dinner for dinner,
Yes.
which is the late dinner.
Are you confusing yourself?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Dinner could be anything apart from breakfast.
Oh,
so
really?
it's breakfast, dinner, tea.
So
Or tea, yeah, or
interesting.
Yeah, what do you
But that's more of I think.
what do you
more-
fancy for tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will
Oh.
never be
Yeah.
confused.
No.
Like you know what's a meal and what's a drink.
Yeah. So I think it's in the context. Like
it is, yeah.
if you said like, do you fancy a cup of tea? That means do you fancy a cup of tea? But if I was to say like, what do you want for dinner? I might say,
What do you want for-
what do you fancy for tea?
You said the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
So do you want a cup of tea? Or
Can I get
what
both?
do you fancy for
Oh,
tea? So
if
like,
not like mentioned in cup, that means it's a
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I learned
you
it
have
now.
to mention the cup.
Okay.
The cup changes everything.
A cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or mug.
What?
Mug.
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 A mug.
Oh,
A mug. A
a
mug.
mug.
Yeah. A
Mug.
mug. Mug.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mug or
another
mug?
difference.
Mug.
Mug.
A mug.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like maybe that's my regional sort of accent, the you know, like mug.
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 Mug. Great thing.
Whereas you've got more of a sound, like
Yeah.
mag.
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 Mug. Mug.
Mag.
Yeah.
Mag. Mag. Mag.
Where is it?
I'm trying to recreate how you say mag. Mag.
Mug.
Mag.
Mug.
Mag.
Wait, they're talking about the mug, right? The
Mug.
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 Is it not you? Is it not ug? Mug?
Yeah.
Mug. Mug.
Mug.
Whereas,
Pops.
yeah, so you've got more of like an
Huh?
sound to it. Yeah.
What's
What?
this?
Is it
A mock test.
a mock test?
A mock test.
Mock.
Mock.
Mock test.
Mock. Mock. Mug.
Almost the same.
You will know. You know when you know.
Yeah, you know when you know.
Yeah, you'll get used to the difference. Again, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
mean, we said our goodbye. I'm sure they'll do the editing all right. But
Thank you.
What's
Ah.
again the goodbye?
we said it, didn't we?
See
Did we say
ya.
it again?
Oh,
Oh, see ya.
No need,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, what was that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye or see ya.
See ya.
We did
Or-
see ya. We did see ya.
Or
yeah.
see you later.
okay.
Even if you won't see them later.
Yeah.
You might see them in like
More
3
of a-
years.
more of a gesture.
I always say see you later.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
see you later.
I'll
Whenever
probably
that
say
is.
it today.
Talk to
I'll
you
be like,
later.
See you later. And it'll be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
September.
Okay.
We'll get there one day. All right. Well, thank you so much, okay?